Alex Argo. I am an investor on the GSV Ventures team and also co-lead of the GSV Cup along with Francis Rosenberg. So tonight we are coming at you live before our top 20 pitches. And our top 20 pitches are from our Elite 200 of the GSV Cup. So to give some context on the GSV Cup, the Elite 200, the top 20, the GSV Cup is the world's largest EdTech global pitch competition for early stage, pre-seed, and seed stage startups. From pre-K to gray, so anything from early childhood learning to workforce, lifelong learning around the world. We had over 750 companies apply this year. And they were selected, the top 200 were selected from over 175 judges from leading VCs and strategics. Really narrowed it down to what we think is really the highest quality of ed tech early stage startups out there. There really are our Elite 200. And so they're here actually participating in a demo hour right before we go live on StageX for the top 20 companies. The top 20 companies were also selected. We really judge these companies on what GSV calls the 5 Ps. So that's people, product, predictability, potential, and purpose. So they are judged across those 5 categories, and that's really how we narrow it down to those top 20 companies that get to pitch live on stage. So we're really excited. We actually have an amazing panel of judges tonight. 2 partners from GSV will be on the panel, and then esteemed judges from leading VCs who will be on the panel tonight judging these top 20 companies. And they are really put on the spot in front of literally everyone on StageX, and they have to pitch their companies, tell us why they are disrupting education and changing the world for the better, and why they are the company that will scale and really be the change that they want to see. So we are super, super excited tonight to have you all join us on stage. And actually soon, right now, after this, I'm going to interview a few of the top 20 companies. But before I do that, let me just give you a little bit of an overview of kind of the diverse global representation of the top 200. So this year, 42% of our top 200 companies are domiciled outside of the US, which is just incredible. It's truly a global competition. And then from a diversity perspective, 51% of the founders of the Elite 200 companies identify as a person of color, and then another 58% have a female founder. So again, it's incredible diversity, really global companies. And so again, we're just so proud of our Elite 200, what they represent, really the fact that they were chosen from over 750 companies is just, amazing. And they're all incredible founders. I wish I could spotlight all of them. I truly do, but unfortunately, we don't have time for all of that. So I'm actually going to bring our first Elite 200 founder on. We have Nathan, who's coming over here. Hi, Nathan. So Nathan, it would be awesome if you could just tell us, firstly, your company, what it's called, and kind of where you're focusing on from the pre-K to gray spectrum would be super helpful.
Definitely. Hi, everyone. My name is Nate. I'm the founder of Mentor, and we are a software platform that enables online courses to deliver instant feedback using conversational AI. Specifically, we target high schoolers, and 90% of the courses on our platform are upskilling courses. So if there's high schoolers that are looking for internships, that's what we do.
That's amazing. And so I guess, right, you have been at the summit since Monday, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so what has it meant to you to be part of this Elite 200? What does that kind of signify for you and your company?
First and foremost, I guess I'm really happy. I think it's really the team behind us that has really just been the driving force behind everything. I work with amazing people, and I'm so lucky that they like to work with me. And I've met so many amazing entrepreneurs, many of whom you're going to interview, who are doing incredible things as well. So I think just being around that energy and being around those type of people and getting their ideas, it's just been an absolutely fantastic experience.
Is there a highlight? Right, we are only coming towards the end of the second day, but We had the Startup Academy for the Elite 200, certain investor founder happy hours. We had a ton of events. I guess, do you have a favorite? So far, obviously.
I've stood in on a couple of the AI talks, and I've been very impressed by the caliber of the people who are here talking about artificial intelligence, its role in education, and some getting into some of the really technical challenges behind how to do it well and how to do it in a way that's fair and equitable to people.
Absolutely. I mean, I think 100% at GSV, we are very bullish on, the use of AI to really democratize, personalize learning. I guess from your point of view, what, is the most exciting in terms of this adoption, this use of AI to really improve learning outcomes? Why do you think it is so crucial as we kind of progress in ed tech?
I think one of the most promising things about artificial intelligence in general is going to be its ability to help people do things that they couldn't do otherwise. And I think what I really look forward to is using it to help students exceed what they thought was possible. I think something that really excites me is when a student completes a course on Mentor, that they're able to do projects and learn things faster and with greater comprehension than ever before. And then seeing that effect propagate to their schoolwork and how it frees up their teachers, gives their teachers back time because now that they know the material a little bit better. I think watching that whole process is really exciting, and seeing how we apply that to different verticals like um, upskilling and like standardized courses, and throughout the entire the whole gamut of education is really just exciting.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And again, congrats on being part of the Elite 200. Yeah, we are so excited to just have you here the rest of the summit. And again, thank you for sharing your story and what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
All right. Yep. All right. Next, we have one of my favorite, not biased, but Taylor from Stimuli. Taylor, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you're working on. The reason I'm biased because I love gaming and learning, so that's why I'm saying that. And she's awesome. But Taylor, why don't you say what you're working on?
Hey everyone, my name is Taylor Shed, and at Stimuli, what we're doing is helping public schools integrate a metaverse of learning into their classrooms. It's not an easy tool. We can't just expect our educators to be able to just find out about this new technology and integrate it without interoperability. So we're making it possible for public schools to integrate into the metaverse easily.
That's amazing. There's obviously a ton of buzz around the metaverse, right? A lot of confusion. I guess, can you help us just define, like, what do you mean when you say, you're helping classrooms just kind of get into the metaverse? Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, well, for 20 years, we've talked about increasing student engagement. It's kind of been a buzzword in ed tech. But what we decided to do is really go there. What do students want? And so what we decided is we're going to build a video game that is going to replace your typical learning management system. So it doesn't matter if you're a student learning from home, if you're in a classroom, or you're a homeschool learner, you should be able to step into a world that looks like the outside world that you're engaging in and that you absolutely love, but learn. And so we started looking at principles like Michael Moe has talked about, like invisible learning. How can students learn through gameplay where they don't even feel like they're being quizzed or tested, but all of a sudden you're like finding out what they're passionate about and what they're really interested in. And all of a sudden there's a stealth assessment where they don't even know they're taking a quiz or test. But in the end result, you have a big data set on what that learner's interested in, how they're performing, and then what you can do next to help personalize and take them to the next step of learning.
Absolutely. And I think, yeah, I mean, this idea of invisible learning is something we're super bullish on, and it makes total sense. And right, you want to meet the kids where they are, which is on games these days. Would love to understand how you think this helps the teacher in the classroom.
Yeah, that's a great point. So one philosophy I have is that games are scalable. So what does that mean? A student, you don't have to teach them how to play the game. They can get in and instantly know what they're doing. Well, the same thing happens for the teacher. A teacher doesn't have to teach a student how to play a game. So one thing that we're really keen on is how can you improve the productivity of teachers? Two, how can you in real time provide data on what the student is learning back to that teacher so they can continue to enhance the student's learning. And of course, AI helps kind of create this super teacher where now all of a sudden I'm not having to figure out how to personalize lessons and classrooms for each individual learner, but the system is doing that. And the teacher is really just there building the relationships and fostering great communication and anything else that needs to happen for our learners.
Absolutely. Well, Taylor, thank you so much. We love learning about Stimuli, and I think it's incredible what you're doing. So thanks for joining us. And congrats on the Elite 200. All right. We have another, we have two. Wow, special. Okay, let me make sure you guys have room. So, yes, this is two of the founders of Tomorrow Education. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves since you know your business better than I even do. So, and also, they actually are a top 20 company. So, they might be a little nervous. They have their pitches soon live on stage, but I'll let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, hello, my name is Thomas. So Christian and I were the co-founders of Tomorrow's Education, which is actually a technology company plus a fully fledged university that offers degrees, master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, remote first. And we focus on challenge-based learning, so it goes one step beyond pure knowledge dissemination. So what we actually do is we let the learners learn around the challenges of the 21st century, which is climate change, which is biodiversity loss. And all of the students start with a problem, start with a challenge, and then see the university as a content repository. So they access the relevant knowledge and learn together. And that really what makes the experience unique. We have 4 intakes already of master students, students from all over the world. So there's only one continent where no learner comes from, which is Antarctica. But from all of the other continents, we have learners. So it's a wonderful thing that it works. And it happened and it was possible thanks to the pandemic, to be honest, because the market changed, the perceptions have changed. And also that the German state accredits us, that's also one of the things that we have to say thank you to the pandemic, even though it's a bad thing to say.
Yeah, no. It's. I mean, it's how do you make opportunity out of crisis, right? Obviously, the pandemic was awful, but there are a lot of mass adoption of ed tech that has really just pushed the industry forward tremendously. Speaking of that, and kind of elaborating on that a little bit, we are now potentially, moving forward past the pandemic. Hopefully, I don't want to jinx us, but how are you kind of seeing Tomorrow Education evolve as we kind of, exit this, hopefully, what is an exiting of this pandemic? I can throw it to you.
So what we see and what our students really value is the flexibility. Actually, the online learning provides them, and we have designed the university from ground up for a remote first experience so that they can learn from anywhere in the world. And it's really exciting to see when our students start in from Sri Lanka or from wherever they are at that point of time when they are learning, and having a vivid, engaging course discussion, for example, about the challenges which they're working on. So what we see from the perspective post-pandemic is that they are actually appreciating this next stage of education.
100%. Yeah. Learners want to be met where they are again. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I have to ask, how are you guys feeling? One, an honor to be part of the top 20. We are so excited to have you. How are you feeling about your pitches coming up soon?
We're honored too. So totally thankful to be selected as one of the top 20. And interestingly, we're not nervous because we can only not win one of the top 3, but we already won. So being selected as one of the top 20 is so great for us. So it doesn't really matter what happens tonight. We're going to have fun. We're going to be on stage. We're telling our story. And yeah, hope that many more people are going to like what we're doing, because what we're trying to do is really not challenge the entire learning system, because it's actually going in the right direction, but enrich it. And the more people hear our story, the better. So we're really thankful of being part of that top 20.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we are so happy to give you that stage and that platform because you guys have an incredible story, incredible company, and it deserves to be heard. So we're so excited to have you pitch. All right. Well, thank you. And then I'll see you guys soon for your pitch. It was awesome to have you. All right. We actually have our last and final E200 that I get to spotlight. Again, a little bit biased. It is within the gaming learning sphere, so another company that I love. I love all of them, though. Okay, so why don't you introduce yourself, talk about, Explore Realms a little bit more, what you're doing, what you're focusing on.
So my name is Rida El-Sai. I'm the founder of Explore Arms, and we're building a metaverse of culturally nuanced 3D immersive educational mobile games aimed at 7 to 14-year-olds, and the games are fully aligned with the British national curriculum. So we've got lots and lots of subjects that we're building into the game.
And so are those games primarily used in the classroom, at home? Talk a little bit more about who really the end user is.
So I think it'll be a combination of people, so primarily in the classroom and at home, but the idea is that they're an alternative to homework and revision. We're not trying to compete with Fortnite yet. Maybe in the future, who knows? But it's really a supplemental tool to enhance that process of learning.
So I guess I would love to understand, because we are all very excited about this intersection of gaming learning. What are some challenges you're seeing with this adoption of learning games and kind of what you're building?
I think what's been incredible is we've been play testing with thousands of schools across the UK, the Middle East, and South Asia, and the children completely get what we're doing. They love it. They adopt the games really quickly. But it's actually the teachers and the adults that need a bit of time to kind of understand how it can be used to enhance that process of learning.
Absolutely. And then I have to ask, right? You were on a panel yourself here. You've obviously been super involved in the summit as an Elite 200. What has kind of been your highlight so far of the summit and being a part of the Elite 200?
I think there's been so many highlights. I mean, we've been approached by investors since we were selected for the Elite 200. Being on the panel, kind of sharing opinions, being approached by members of the audience, and just meeting so many other founders and different schools. We've been approached by US schools and stuff. And this is an audience that we never would have reached if we were not here today. So thank you to GSV.
I mean, thank you to you, and thank you for coming, and again, sharing your story, sharing your company. What you're doing is absolutely incredible, and I'm super excited to watch you scale, grow, and to kind of just follow along. All right, thank you so much. All right. So I hope you enjoyed hearing from some of our, amazing Elite 200 founders. They truly are incredible, and what they're doing is really trying to change the world for the better, and that really starts from education and improving education, disrupting our systems. So again, we will see you live on Stage X for a top 20 to pitch. Couldn't be more excited. It's going to be a great event. We also have Andrew Yang speaking. Going to be amazing. All right. Thanks for tuning in.